Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Gary, and today I'm here with my beautiful family. I got like 100 cousins. Lily, we got
Rosie, Tori,
Happy.
y'all know Hep. So today, obviously we're laughing, but we're not gonna be laughing in a little bit. We got a different video for y'all. So we got some scary stories for y'all. I suggest y'all watch it in a dark room, maybe by yourself, some headphones on, just to get in the feels of it. If you're too scared, watch it with someone. I think we'll probably just like take turns because I'm pretty sure we all got one. Before we get right into it, make sure y'all drop a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Oh, before we start, make sure y'all watch like in the background or here, because like low key, this place is like pretty haunted. Like some of the stories are probably gonna be from here. So like, I seriously don't like doubt that something might happen, or you guys might catch something. So.
and us talking about scary stuff will bring the energy.
Yeah. All these stories are gonna be like the stuff that we experience. So we ain't capping. This is like legit stuff. I could probably start it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Ever since I was little, I always had sleep paralysis. Like I think when it was right before we left. So I was either like 12, 13, around there. And seriously, from there till now, I just had one like about a month ago. Mm-hmm. People say they can't move. They can't talk, they can't breathe, they feel like someone's watching them. Some people even see things, and I'm gonna tell my scariest one that happened. So in my old house, I was just taking a nap, and above the door we had like a little vent thing. Like I think that's where the central air came out. They had the hallway light on, so I could like see inside of the room. So I was taking my nap, and then I was laying on my side, and then I opened my eyes, and so the light was coming in from the door. And then there was someone standing there, and it was obviously dark in my room. I couldn't see nothing. I could just see the outline of this I don't even know, just this dark figure. The part that got me, first thing I noticed was this figure was standing there, like just like with his hands to his side, but his fingers, I swear to God, were like so long and skinny, and I couldn't like see its face or anything, and it was literally just standing there. I swear, I don't know, like 3 seconds went by.
Okay, talking.
So then it was standing there, and I noticed this figure pretty soon, like off of paranormal activity, like you know when something's like about to go down, it starts making like that weird vibration like that. Then that noise started to come on, but whenever it started, like you know how they say like people have auras, like his aura or its aura, I don't know, his or her, whatever, it was like vibrating. And like that noise was going on at the same time, and whenever it was happening, he was like getting closer, but he wasn't walking. He was like literally in the same stance, but just like floating towards me. And like the closer he got, the louder that noise got. So it was just getting louder. And then like right when he like got like right next to me, and then I woke up and I was just out of breath, and then instantly I just hopped up and went out.
The way you said that guy was floating reminded me of a story movie for me.
Yeah, it's crazy because like when I hear other people tell their stories, they literally like describe the same shit that I experienced and all that, and I'm like, I'm freaking with you, man. I know you're not lying, you know.
The teacher was telling us this story. Anyways, he said he was driving to work, and like the sun wasn't out yet, so it's like just a little bit dark out. And then he said that he was like going, and like he was going, and then in the ditch or whatever to his right, he just said he sees like a guy on a bike, like he's fixing his bike or whatever, and so he like goes by and like asks him if he needs help, and he's like, no, I'm okay, and like waves at him. He's like, all right then, and like then he keeps going, and he said like a couple miles up, like he's like a guy like fixing his bike, and he's just like thinking it's somebody else or whatever, so he just like stops again and asks him if he's okay, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. So he just like keeps going, like doesn't think nothing of it. He said he's going up like a couple more miles, and he sees the same things. Like this time he's like actually getting freaked out. So like, are you good? Like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm good. So like he's just like thinking like, so like kind of creeped out a little bit. So he's like, all right then, and he just like keeps going. And then he said this time like he sees the bike, but like no man. Like he like gets out this time, like I don't know why. He said he was just stupid, but he gets out of his car and he like goes around his car or whatever, and like he sees the bike, and when he comes back on the car.
Should I tell that one about that girl? Her and her like nieces and her uncles were all driving on the back road from Wagner to Marty. They were driving, and here they were bumping music pretty loud, and here they see this guy walking like kind of further, and you could like see him Like you could see like him strutting. He had like this hat on, like an old hat, and then he had like a long trench coat on. And they're like, what the hell? Who is walking at this time of night and the dirt roads? They were all already freaked out, but they were like being kind of crazy, or the uncles were. And they pull up slowly by him. They were getting ready to roll down their windows, and when they got closer to him, they like were looking, and here like they looked at his feet, and they were like nothing. They were just like floating, like straight up, like just going. But you could see he was walking, like his shoulders going like this, and he didn't even look at them. Like his face was like, it was like his trench coat was up, and you couldn't see his face. It was just black, and his hat was right there, but he was like floating, just going. And then they like looked, and those guys started screaming, and they're like, fuck you, or like I don't know why, but it was like fuck you, and they took off. And then they like looked back, and that guy was gone.
And any of you guys that are watching, comment down below if you have sleep paralysis, if you have any experiences, tell us your story. I swear to God, there's like 10, there had to have been close to about 10 events that happened just in this apartment in this year alone. So I know there's like, I don't know if it's from like previous people that lived here. I don't know if there's any like traumatic things that happened here. Even some of like my relatives that stayed here like before us, they even have freaking scary stories.
Okay, so that night we was all watching like Nuke's Top 5 and like Chills and stuff, and we were just like, Mom was like, oh, this is scary, I'm gonna go lay down. And it was just me, Perry, and Ange sitting upstairs, and these guys, I don't know where they went. Perry's like, well, I'm gonna go home then, because she lives in Crow Creek. So she's getting ready to go, and I was like, oh shit, we didn't smudge her gate, because we told her we was going to, because she was already scared, and she had to drive back all by herself. So then here, she's getting in her car, and then she's like pulling out, and the way our driveway is, you come out, and then there's like another part where you can park, and that's where Joe was. He came in, and then as soon as he was getting out of the car, she rolls down her window, and she's like, bye Joe, and then he's like, good night. And then I was like, what are you guys watching? And I was like, oh, just scary videos. And he goes back there, and he's back there for like a good 7 minutes or something. And then Audrey comes running upstairs, and she's like, come on, Mom wants us in the back. She wants to ask us something. So then we all go in the back, and we're all sitting there. I was kind of like scared, like, what is he gonna tell us or something, thinking it wasn't like any haunted related. But he tells us like, yeah, I seen Perry. And here I asked Mom, like, did any of the girls go with Perry? And then she's like, no, not that I know of. And so that's whenever she messaged all of them and asked like, are you guys here? You know, anyone go with you? And then here she's like, no. And that's when Audrey went up, and then he's like, well, then it's me like, okay, this is what happened. I seen someone wave at me in the back of his car, and we were like, shut up. He's like, honest to God, I seen someone wave. Yeah, we waited a minute because she was driving by herself, and we didn't want to tell her like,
fuck that.
like be driving on an all black road.
Dude, I wouldn't even imagine like be driving. If y'all made it this far, comment long arms. I suggest y'all watch this in the dark. Yeah. This thing coming up, what we're gonna talk about, we didn't like give details yet, but this one scares me.
Okay, so in Greenwood, I don't know if you guys know where that is, but a long time ago, all the grandmas and them used to say, kids don't play outside at dark. When he can hear them laughing or whatever, it brings him, it calls him. The way they described him is probably why it's so scary, is because he would come, and he was like an average height man, but his arms were so long when he walked, they dragged on the ground. And his skin was like bruised blue kind of, and it looked just
like a grayish,
blue, everything. And you really couldn't see his face because his hair was like all in his face, it was black.
I don't know who told me the story, but the old high school was the high school. Second floor is probably about 20 feet, you think? Or about 20 feet off the ground. But whenever he was cleaning up one of the rooms, had the window open, so he was watching a movie, and on there was like kids on there, and they were laughing, and he didn't think anything of it though. He was just cleaning one of those classrooms that had a big old mirror, and they're like almost as long as like the wall. And he said he seen someone like peek over real quick, like just real quick. He like looked in the mirror, and then he was like backing me, and he's like, what the heck? He's seen it again, but this time it stayed longer. He looked over real quick, and as soon as he looked over, it went down. Or he turned the vacuum off and turned the TV off. The TV, you know how they used to have them on like the stands, and like they like roll them in and shit? And as soon as he turned that TV off, he heard someone go, hey! They like peeked up, and then he said, oh shit! And he took off running. Because those kids were laughing on that TV.
I have one. It's about the girls' dorm.
Down at Marty?
Yeah.
I know the dorms are haunted.
Anybody that dormed at Marty, you should know that there's something going on there.
I was working one night. She worked the night shift. But the girls just went to bed. We have curfew and everything. So she's sitting in the office, and here she hears like people running around upstairs, and she's like, "Girls, go to bed!" She's yelling up the stairs, and here she don't hear no more. So she's back in the office again. She hears it again, and she hears it, and she's like going up the stairs slowly, and she still hears it. And as soon as she gets like closer to the top step, it stops, and she's like, "Girls, go to bed!" And she's yelling down the hallway. So she's like, "I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna catch them so I can write them up." So she sits at the edge of the stairs, and here they're sitting there waiting, and here she hears it again. And so she's getting ready to yell at them, and she peeks over and she looks, and she swears to God up and down it was a row of nuns. They were like back to back, going in each of the rooms, kind of running, but like crisscross, following each other into each room.
Okay.
But you could hear like the feet like and she's like baffled. She's just like looking, and she runs downstairs, and she goes in. I don't know who she called her.
That's not it.
I don't know what she did afterwards, but that in general scared the shit.
I would have like, I don't even know what I would do.
My auntie, when she was little, they had one mattress and they all slept in one room on the same bed. And so like her brother slept, like his head would be there. She felt like the blanket like jerk off of her. It was like, "Nathaniel, quit it," and like pulled it back up to her, and then like she laid there for a bit, and then she felt it like fly off of her like that, and she was like, got mad. She like sat up, and she's like, "Nathaniel, quit it," and he like looked at her, and he was like, "I'm not even doing anything." She like pulled it back onto her and like went to sleep, and then a while later she felt it like slowly like inching off of her. She was like, "I'm gonna catch him doing it," and so she like opened her eyes, and there was a big white hand reaching around, just slowly pulling it down with its finger.
I remember a scary story your mom told, just telling us that she wanted to like borrow some like sugar or milk, I can't remember, from Beans. Remember, she lived next door to Grandma, and she went over there, and she was knocking, like no one answered, but the door was open, so she just walked in, and she's like, "Hello, is anyone here? Can I borrow some sugar or whatever?" It got quiet, she was like listening, she's like, "Hello," and then here's someone said, "We're back here." So she's like, "Okay." She walks back there, and there's nobody back there. It's like she just walks out, and then here Beans and them pull up, and remember they had like a green station wagon right over, and she pulls up, and no one's home. And the door was supposed to be locked. Like, that one always
let her in, huh? Oh, so if y'all want a part 2, comment down below, like the video, share, tag us in it, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. One of the stories I'm gonna tell real quick. In this apartment, this is just one of them. So I was sitting right here, literally right here. I was playing Fortnite. I usually let my hair hang off because it's kind of long. I hang off behind me so I don't sit on it. Little sister's right here like running around. Sitting there, and then pretty soon all of a sudden my like I felt it move just a little bit before it. Like finally someone just takes my hair and literally like whips it, like it like goes and swings, and like I literally felt someone hit my hair. Like I just like dropped my controller, and I looked. Happy was standing like right here in the kitchen. He just looked at me because I was already like startled. I was like, "What the fuck?" Someone just hit my hair, and I thought it was the girls because they were running back and forth and whatever. So I looked behind me, and I looked at Happy real slow, and I didn't even say nothing. He was like, "Bro, I seen it." And
dude, you was sitting still too. You just sitting like this, and pretty soon your hair just goes flying.
Like wide awake.
It was scary for me because I was looking right at him, and he was literally just sitting there playing, and pretty soon his hair just goes flying up.
Long time ago, we have a powwow here at our casino. They were recording. Friend was like going by, like going right by the camera, like doing whatever, making faces and whatever. And then here comes coming by, and she's like, "What, DJ?" Yeah, looks and like makes a face and smiles. Like, that's what was in the original video. They go home, plug it into Uncle Ben's TV, and they play it when they're watching it. Whenever she does that, she's like, "What, DJ?" And then someone on the TV literally goes, "DJ." Like but like, if y'all want a part 2, let us know. Like the video, subscribe, comment, share. Alright, so post notification, shout out goes to my little bro Coda. Thanks for being subscribed, commenting, all the good stuff. Alright, and we are out. Deuces.